Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do a video that I've wanted to do for a while. We're going to compare Stratocasters versus Telecasters. Now, I've loved Fender instruments ever since I started playing. I love the single coil sound, and of course the flagship guitars of Fender instruments are Stratocasters and Telecasters. So what we're going to do today is compare 4 different instruments. Alright, the first guitar we're going to compare is this Stratocaster. So this is a 2011 American Standard Stratocaster. Okay, this one's totally stock. It just has the cosmetics of the Gilmore Black Strat. But other than that, totally stock. The second guitar we're going to compare is this Telecaster Thinline. This is a made in Mexico Tele with Texas Special pickups. The third guitar we're going to compare, and the second Stratocaster, is this 2014. This is an American Standard as well, but this has noiseless pickups in it, and they are the DiMarzio area pickup set. Okay, so that'll be our third guitar. The fourth guitar we're going to compare in the second Telecaster is this beauty. Because we have a Stratocaster with noiseless pickups, we're going to add this guy into the mix, which also has noiseless pickups. Okay, so let's take a quick moment to talk about the differences between Stratocasters and Telecasters. There's a bunch of them, obviously. We're just going to highlight a few. So the first one I want to talk about is the bridge. This is a big difference between the two guitars. On a Telecaster here, you can see the bridge is fixed, and the strings go over the saddles and through the back, and there's no way to, change the pitch on it via whammy bar or anything like that. Okay, so this is the first style of Telecaster bridge. There's other styles as well. This has 6 individual saddles. I'll grab an example with the 3 barrels here. Okay, so on this Telecaster, if you sort of ignore the Bigsby here for a moment, you'll see that the saddle, I'll just try to bring it up. There we go, hopefully you guys can see that. It's got 3 barrels. Okay, so instead of 6 individual saddles, you've got 3. And the same system, normally it would go through the bridge into the back. In this case, there's a Bigsby, so it's a different system. There's also compensated saddles, so I'll grab a guitar with some compensated saddles. Okay, so on this Tele, you can see, hopefully, that there's the 3 barrels, but each one of them is angled in a different way, and that's called a compensated saddle. There you go, and that just helps intonate the guitar. So if you're in tune down here by the nut, you're going to be in tune up high past the 12th fret. And the compensated saddles help with that. Okay, and again, this is just a typical Tele, fixed bridge through the body. Okay, let's take a look at a Strat. So here's a Stratocaster. Here you can see you've got a bridge that can be articulated via the whammy bar. So you can depress it or pull it up if it's set up floating, which I usually set up my guitars to do. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway. And so then you can articulate the pitch of the strings with that whammy bar. Other than that, it's similar in that it doesn't quite go through the body, but you can see there's springs on the back and a block, and the strings go into that block. So it's not necessarily through the body like a Telecaster, but the concept's similar. It does affect the sound, and we'll talk a bit about that later, hopefully show you what that sounds like. Now this guitar has the tusk saddles on it. I did a comparison video with these saddles versus traditional Stratocaster saddles, and so if you want, you can look that up on my channel as well. Okay, let's talk about a few of the other differences. All right, let's talk about the pickups. So a single coil is not necessarily a single coil is not necessarily a single coil. So we've got a bunch of different pickups on these guitars. They're all going to sound a little different, and pickups make a huge difference in instruments, more than the wood that you choose, or rosewood versus maple neck, versus even bridge style. The pickups really affect and dictate the character of the instrument. So between Strats and Teles, they might look the same because they're single coils, but they're actually very different. Okay, on Telecasters, you've got 3 different pickup positions. You've got the bridge, you've got the middle, which is the bridge and the neck together, and that's hum canceling, and then you've got the neck position. On a Stratocaster, you've got 5 positions. You've got the bridge in the middle, which is hum canceling, the middle and the neck, which is hum canceling, and the neck. Another difference between Telecasters and Stratocasters is the body. Now, Fender uses alder oftentimes, sometimes swamp ash, various different woods. That's the same between Telecasters and Stratocasters, but the contours are very different. So on a Telecaster, you've got the single cutaway here, a little horn here. It's very flat, there's no contours, there's no belly cutout. It's just sort of a block of wood. And that's always sort of, I don't know, been the traditional Tele, I guess, ethos. It's just very utilitarian, very basic. Let's take a look at the Stratocaster. So the Stratocaster, obviously you've got two cutaways, an upper and a lower. You've got a nice contour here for your arm as you're picking. You've got, oh, I should maybe show it the other way. Anyway, you've got a belly cut right here, which is nice for guys like me with little girth. Very comfortable to play, very ergonomic, and a very great design. So neck profiles between the instruments are very similar. Fender has changed them over time, from the 50s to the 60s to the modern. 7.5-inch radius, 9.5. Sometimes there's one radius by the nut, another radius by the upper frets for ease of soloing and things like that. But thankfully, switching between a Stratocaster and a Telecaster is not a big deal. If you're comfortable playing on a Fender neck, odds are you're going to feel pretty good switching between the instruments, which is awesome. Also, Fender basically sticks with maple fingerboard or rosewood fingerboard. And I don't think it makes a big difference in sound, but they do feel different. I like the maple boards or the one-piece maple necks because the grain is really tight on maple. So if you have greasy fingers or oily fingers, whatever, you can just wipe off the gunk really easily. Whereas rosewood, I think it looks nice as well, but it's got a really open grain to it. And so finger gunk and stuff gets, piles up in those little crevices, and it's a little trickier to clean. That's really my only beef with rosewood. I do like it. But other than that, I don't think tonally it makes a huge difference. So obviously there's a great diversity between these four instruments, and the two Stratocasters won't sound necessarily alike. The two Teles maybe won't sound perfectly alike. But by listening to these four instruments kind of back to back, hopefully it'll give you some good information about Telecasters, Stratocasters, how they're different, and what they sound like. All right, let's take a listen to these guitars in action. All right, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. Please do subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate everybody who does, and I'll keep putting out new videos. And you can always check back through the channel. There's lots of different jams and whatnot on various instruments. So if you're interested in hearing what a specific guitar sounds like, yeah, do check that out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Take care and have a great day.